Hello and welcome back to the channel. It is the weekly pickups video. The last time it's going to be on Saturdays for the foreseeable future. Why? Well, because as you might know, next Saturday, the 11th, that's when Doctor Who's back. So Saturdays until Doctor Who is over is going to be Doctor Who reviews, and so the weekly pickups will then move to Sundays. Um, so yeah, I'm actually filming this on Thursday, because I probably could pick something up tomorrow, but I has a stack. It's a very big stack, including, as you can see, VHS. So as always, I'm going to take the thumbnail photo right now. There. Uh, so yeah, we got one Blu-ray, some DVDs, a CD, and some VHS. So let's get started in order of acquirances. So Monday, I went into town because I needed to get my phone deep cleaned because some of my psoriasis. In case you don't know, I do have psoriasis. Right now, you can't necessarily tell because I do use a spray, but you can kind of see glimpses of it. Um, and so I needed to get that deep clean. So I went into uh, a charity shop to see what they had. They didn't have anything that I needed, unfortunately. There was some Blu-rays there, but I don't like Twilight, so I'm not going to buy Twilight on Blu-ray for, why bother with a Blu-ray buying a movie that I don't like? But I did see an album that I had to get because I had it as a kid, and it has actually a lot of my favorite songs from this trio. Um, and that being Jonas Brothers. Yes, so I got the a little bit longer album. This was one of the first albums I ever had as a kid, as preteen maybe. No, nearly. Yeah, I'll actually no, yeah, about roughly about preteen. Yeah. They had the another one of their albums there, but I only liked one song off of it, so that's why I left it. But this I had growing up, and it was, one of my favorite albums to listen to on repeat. So my favorite songs from here is "Burning Up," "Love Bug," um, and "When You Look Me in the Eyes." So yeah, had to pick it up. This is the second week in a row that I found an album to add into my collection. I do collect albums. You can see some behind me there, actually. Uh, right, I'm trying to get this right. Yeah, right there. So yeah, I'll add it in another album. So then I went into CEX after going into Pennies, or Primark for you UK people, though it's originally called Pennies before it moved to open up stores in the UK. I bought a T-shirt. I'm actually wearing it right now. It is a Pokemon Pikachu T-shirt, and I bought some trousers, two pairs of trousers as well. Um, so then I went into CEX and I bought two TV shows to add into the collection. So I bought season 3 of Will and Grace. As you know, I do collect this. I'm slowly adding in seasons from the original into the collection. And then, of course, I don't even know if the newer seasons got a physical release. So for €2, I just couldn't pass it up. Because like I said, I grew up on this show. I do love this show. I never seen every episode though, so that's why I'm glad to be collecting it now. So that way, if I do feel like watching it, not for like a review or anything, just in my own spare time, I have that option to do so. Now, this next one is season 6 of Monk. I also grew up on this. There was a lot of, shows detective A shows that I grew up on. This was one of them. The other one was Columbo, and then Diagnosis Murder, with Dick Van Dyke. Those were the three that I grew up on the most because of my mother. So as soon as I seen at least this season there, I knew I had to scoop it up. And at some point, I do want to track down some seasons of Diagnosis Murder, because I definitely enjoyed that. uh, more than Columbo or Monk here. And so that was that. So then Wednesday rolls around, and I went obviously into town, and I only bought a Blu-ray. I used the rest of my voucher, which I forgot about when I was buying these. So it would have taken care of one of these because both of them were €2. I had a €2.50 voucher, so then I only would have had to pay $1.50 for one. But it worked out anyway. So I picked up a Blu-ray, and that Blu-ray is for Batman Returns. As you know, this is trilogy month, so I will be doing the Nolan Batman films. But I think I've seen this. It like there's a memory there. There's a memory there of a few of these. Either one or two Keatons and a Clooney, or just one Keaton and one Clooney. I can't really remember which. My memory's very spotty as a kid, but essentially for $3.50 for Batman Returns on Blu-ray, I'm not going to pass it up. I was going to get Batman versus Superman, but I'm kind of wanting to not get as many movies that I haven't seen because half of my collection is movies that I haven't seen. So I wanted to, not go too crazy on that. I want to take a step back from doing that. So I'm only really going to buy stuff that I've seen or TV shows that I know I've seen that I want in for the collection. So then we get on to today. So lastminute.com thing. Last night I was just watching a movie for June's uploads because I'm nearly actually finished with those. I got a message to see if I wanted to hang out, with my friends, and I said sure. So I skipped out on breakfast because Thursday is New Star Trek Discovery Day, so obviously I'm going to watch and review that. But then we met up. We went to two charity shops that I didn't go to yesterday for me, but the NCBI charity shop. I actually got 3 VHS. So I spotted it immediately in their back, and I asked kindly, could I go have a look because the stuff they had out, no interest in me. I don't want to collect Friends and some of the stuff that they have out. I already have, or I have no interest in. So I spotted these and I was like, my eyesight's very bad, which is why I should probably wear my glasses some more. I was like, that kind of looks like The Godfather, and so when I went in, it was. So it was The Godfather Part 2 on VHS, and I tested it, and it worked. I just needed to rewind it, which I just finished doing. So yeah, very happy with that. Doesn't look to be moldy. Have any mold on it from just looking there. Flipping the lid, uh, looks pretty fine to me. Some better VHS knowledge people can attest to that, but to me it looks fine. So it's tested and it works. So yeah, I haven't seen this. I have seen The Godfather Part 1, and I do already own this on DVD, but for €1, I couldn't pass it up. The same with Part 3. Yeah, I couldn't pass it up. I saw it there. It's like, oh, cool. Part 3's here as well. So I may as well pick it up. And yes, I did test it. And it too does work. So there doesn't seem to be any mold from the get-go. Flipping the lid down doesn't seem too bad either. And so we're looking around, and there was another VHS, but I left it behind. Why? Because it's a movie that I don't like, and that is Blues Brothers. Yes, I think I've mentioned this a few times already over the near 3 years that I've been doing this channel. I don't like the Blues Brothers. I watched it with a group of friends, and I left halfway through because it just wasn't for me. Art is subjective, and you might like the Blues Brothers. You might have grown up on the Blues Brothers and absolutely love it. I did not, and as a teenager, just had no interest in it. But I did notice this. just before going to get the Godfather movies. And I'm glad that I did. And it is the special edition of The Exorcist. I watched this for the very first time last year, and I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it on DVD. So I look forward to giving the VHS version a shot. And I do like the packaging of it. I think there is two things missing from it, like a cross and something else. Just from looking at eBay listings and stuff. But aside from that, everything else seems to be here, being the tape itself. And I tested it, and it does in fact work. Doesn't seem to be any molding. Again, I'm not really sure what I'm looking for, but there definitely doesn't seem to be any here. So yeah, another one for €1. So €3 in total for 3 VHS tapes. Sign me up, because I don't really see VHS any at all, really. I know there is one charity shop that has 2 VHS for €5, and that is a hard no, because one of them is a straight to VHS release of um, Peter Pan 2: Return to Neverland. So that has no interest for me whatsoever. I'm not paying a fiver for that. If it was €1, maybe I might pick it up. And then there's this other mouse detective type thing that I don't remember, but that they also want a fiver for that. So that's not happening. They're saying there. I did, however, pay the fiver for Treasure Planet several pickups videos ago, and that's it. Like, they usually, my charity shops, they either won't take them, or they'll bin them straight away. So that is unfortunate, because since having that CRT TV, I do want to add more VHS into my collection, but I don't want to buy them off of eBay unless they're in Ireland, because the postage is like stupidly expensive. Like, my most sought after VHS tape for right now is Star Trek First Contact. And I know it is cheap on eBay. I seen one for like €4. But then the postage is 11. I've seen a postage from the UK being anywhere from 10, 11, 13, 15, or €20 for like a VHS. So that just doesn't seem worth it to me. And then there's also the possibility of being hit with import fees, which is why I don't do it. So yeah, usually if I find VHS out in the wild and it's something I know I'm going to be interested in owning, I usually will pick it up if it's reasonable. So just two more things, two more CEX pickups. So spent a good bit in CEX today, just chatting with my friends, enjoying an ice cream, because it's actually a pretty nice. It was a pretty nice day out. But I seen there were some trade-ins for Sherlock Holmes. Now, for me, with Sherlock Holmes, I have seen BBC's Sherlock with Benedict Cumberbatch, and I've seen maybe some with Jeremy Brett, because growing up, my mother was a massive Sherlock Holmes fan, and it was her favorite is Jeremy Brett, and has always been Jeremy Brett. She had the biggest crush on him. These are all things that she has told me. She thought Basil Rathbone was okay, but I've never seen any of his. So for $2.50, I picked up The Hounds of the Baskerville with Basil Rathbone for $2.50, because I never really watched any of his Sherlocks. It's only ever, like I said, it's only ever been Benedict Cumberbatch or Jeremy Brett, I think. Again, really bad memory on that one. And I have been keeping my eye out for Jeremy Brett Sherlocks, and I just don't really see them where I am. It's usually Basil is the Sherlocks that I see. And this was the cheapest out of the few that were traded in. There's this big anthology box set that was trading in. They wanted 30 for it. That is a no-go. There was another box set for 8, another random DVD for 4, This was the cheapest, and Hounds of the Baskerville is one that I am somewhat familiar with, again, through the BBC Sherlock show. So, yeah. And of course, I have seen the Robbie Downey. Well, I've seen the first Robbie Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes film. I still have yet to see A Game of Shadows. But the last thing that I got was towards the end of the day in town. My friends had gone. I was just hanging out in CEX before, just waiting for the bus, essentially killing time for that. And I spotted this in the Euro section, and I remember hearing about it on TikTok from a creator, Straw Hat Goofy, talking about this version of The Wizard of Oz with Michael Jackson in it, and it was a Euro, so I thought I'd give it a shot. And that is The Wiz. Now, I know I said that I wasn't going to be buying stuff that I'm not, movies that I haven't seen, because, half of my collection are movies that I haven't seen. But for the Euro, I thought I would, pick this up and give it a shot, see if I actually like it. But yeah, that is that. That is this week's pickups video, an album, a couple of DVDs, and VHS. So not bad, if I do say so myself. So, reminder that next Saturday is going to be Doctor Who, and then Sundays will be the pickups video until Doctor Who ends in the next 7 weeks, and then it'll go back to being Saturdays. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like I said, I'm recording this Thursday, so there could be potential that I get something else tomorrow, but that will be saved for the following pickups video. So I will see you all on Monday for the true start of the trilogy month, starting with the Dragon Ball Z Broly films. So we're starting with Broly, the legendary Super Saiyan. I look forward to it, and I hope to see you then.